And good morning, it's Lupe, Classic Hits 92.7, 95.3. Looking to boost your career this year? Then look no further than WC. Washington County Community College. Joining us in the Street Beat studio, Tyler Stolt. Is that how you say your last name?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
You got it.
Dean of Enrollment, Management, and Student Services. Good morning.
Good morning, Lupe. Pleasure to be here.
What opportunities does the Last Chance for Free College initiative provide, and who qualifies?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for asking about that important topic. Free college has been something we've had really for the graduating classes starting during the pandemic years of 2020, 2021, and 2022 originally. It was extended beyond that to 24-25 high school graduates in the last biennial budget. Really, it's a state appropriation by the governor's office in the state of Maine and the Maine legislature. And what it allows is for students who are of qualifying graduating year, which now that is 2025 is the last graduating year, and that's why we want to kind of push this information out to the public to make sure students don't lose that opportunity. But it allows students to come to WCCC and not pay any tuition or mandatory fees. They don't have to apply or do a special application for it. It's basically just attend the college in a program of study and graduate from 2024 or 2025. And it's important, this summer's graduating class, if you graduated in 2022, you have to enroll this summer. Not even waiting until fall in September, you're out of eligibility for that. So really it's 2022 through this summer, and then 23, 24, 25, but currently has not been extended beyond 2025. So really people should take advantage of that if they're graduating this year as well, and come see us at, as you mentioned, WC, which of course the students do call it that oftentimes for WCCC.
Nice. So what sets WCCC's nursing program apart, and how is it adapting to the evolving healthcare landscape?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for asking about nursing, because this is a program that Washington County Community College really was focused on bringing to the Down East region for many, many years. Even 2 decades ago it was being discussed, and we were fortunate, kind of unfortunately due to healthcare and nursing shortages across the state, that actually was a fortunate thing for us to receive some sustainable funding through some private dollars, as well as some legislative funding also for this. And the nursing program is cool really because it allows students to, after they complete it, to complete the NCLEX to become a registered nurse in the state of Maine, which of course is required for the certification to be a nurse in practice. The other cool thing about it is you go for really 3 semesters, so it's a year and a half, where most nursing programs are 2 years. So the reason for that is there's a summer term in there. So students actually would start in the fall, they go fall, spring, summer, and then the fall semester again to finish up in December, instead of having to do 2 entire years for that. And they get all the didactic and the clinical pieces right here. There is some travel, of course, to make sure they get all the clinical needs that they need to get, but they're able to do it right here at home at Washington County Community College instead of having to apply and go elsewhere in the state for the nursing program.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about athletics and how has the program's grown, and what impact does it have on student engagement and success?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking about that. I mean, this is one of those where we've been doing it now for 2 years for athletics at WCCC, and sometimes the community still isn't aware of it. So I'm happy to highlight that today. Really, what we've done the past 2 years is we've had varsity basketball. So last year we had varsity men's basketball and a club women's team. And then this year we actually had varsity men's and women's basketball. We're a part of the USCAA, which is the national conference for athletics. And so, that required a site visit. That required them to come and make sure that, we were meeting all of the eligibility requirements for our student athletes. We are planning to have golf and cross country in the fall. So
nice.
We actually have some advertisements for coaches for that right now on our website. So, anybody who wants to go coach golf or cross country, check out our website for those ads. And then in the future, we're looking at potentially, in the next 3 to 5 years, potentially having volleyball at some point.
Nice.
Really just to enrich our campus community through engagement opportunities for our students.
Sounds good. HVAC, refrigeration, and air conditioning. What motivated WCCC to introduce these programs, and what demand exists in the industry?
So as far as HVAC goes, we're always listening to our program advisory committees on campus. We host them multiple times a year in which we have experts from the field. So we had heating technology, which was a one-year certificate program before, really focused on, oil burning furnaces, kind of the traditional heating methods that we have around down East Maine and across the state. But what we were hearing, of course, from our industry partners and those individuals on the advisory committees is that there was really a need for, heat pump installation training, air conditioning, and refrigeration training. So we revamped this program. Now we still offer that one-year heating technology certificate program, which is really actually a 9-month program that students can do, which has many industry certifications. But now we also offer a one-year refrigeration and air conditioning certificate. And then the cool thing is the students can do both of those 2 certificates to combine to get an associate's degree, which is in the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration, actually. So it's HVACR. So really, when you leave that program, like, you're ready for all of the latest technology that's there with heat pumps, refrigeration, all of what is there to offer, as well as the traditional oil burning furnaces also. We want our graduates to be prepared for whatever they're going to walk into as far as employment opportunities when they leave. And we're always trying to stay ahead of the game as far as, what is changing in the field, so that our students can, of course, leave us and enter those high-wage, kind of in-demand careers right here in Washington County.
Now, when you're doing some of these technical education, do you have to have an associate's degree? So do you have to take other courses that are not? Yeah,
so the associate's degree really, of course, in order to have an associate's degree, there is some math and English requirements and some other degree, course requirements. So the certificate programs don't have as much of that, although there are some math and English requirements. Really, our goal is to ensure our graduates are well-rounded also when they enter the workforce. And so when you talk with employers, right, they want students who have had the basic English composition class. Gotcha. We offer a Math for Technologies course that the certificate options require.
So maybe some of the math that you would actually be using on the job.
Yeah, absolutely, for the certificate options.
And there is math for HVAC and refrigeration.
There is. Our students come in, and sometimes at the start of the year they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know about this math," but they obviously do well, and you'll hear about our graduates later and the number of graduates. I think when we talk. So they're ready to enter the workforce, and that's part of that math and the English. But really, the technical trade aspect is a lot of the heart of what we do still at WCCC. Right. From before, we were the technical colleges. Now we're the community college. But really, that trade and technical piece is still a lot of what we do at the college, of course.
All right. And you have some jobs coming up. What qualities are you looking for in a candidate applying for the academic dean and nursing instructor positions?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. So, the academic dean position in particular is a key leader at Washington County Community College that serves on the executive leadership team at the institution. So we're really looking for someone that has, a master's degree, a significant level of experience in leadership roles, potentially teaching positions as faculty members, department chair experience, really just leadership experience at the college level or the community college level. That person, when we talk about the HVAC and some of these program development, that person serves as our chief academic officer. So they're really the ones pushing that innovation for our academic programs, working alongside our faculty to get us where we need to be, and listening to the industry partners to make sure that we're ready to go. So that's what we're looking for. A doctorate would be preferred for that, but a master's degree is required. And then we're really looking for someone with 8 to 10 years experience or more in a leadership capacity in community colleges. The nursing program, we're looking for 2 different positions for that, which I think is important to highlight. One of them is actually our nurse program administrator. So we really required to have someone with a Master's of Science in Nursing for that, because they would lead that program and working with the accreditors that accredit that program. And then the instructor position is someone that could have a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, a BSN, is not the administrator of the program, but of course teaches courses within the program. So all of that's on our website. We also have a diesel and automotive technology instructor position. As I mentioned, the coaching positions as well. So a lot of great opportunity right here, at WCCC, local community college. Check us out. Great place to work.
All right. A record-breaking number of graduates. What do you think contributed to this milestone?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. We had 191 students graduate with us just a couple weeks ago. Actually, on May 16th, so not very long ago. And 191 is a pretty large number for us. Just to give kind of a little bit of historical background, the closest we were to that recently was in 2018, where we had 149 graduates at that time. Last year we had 134, and this year we have 191. And really a lot of that is we've seen record-breaking enrollment growth. And so when we do what we do well, and when our students come in the doors and they get supported, of course that leads them to the end goal, which is graduation. So when we see enrollment growth come up, then eventually the graduation numbers grow with that. And so we're really excited to have 191 fresh graduates right out of Washington County Community College, and they're all over the state of Maine, because we have virtual and online programs as well, and are able to go out right into the workforce.
All right. So what are the biggest challenges in student enrollment and engagement?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you asking that. As far as challenges go, there is an ever-increasing need to provide additional support for our students, and so just trying to kind of rise to that occasion. We've done several things to kind of meet those challenges. A couple years ago, we hired a new position at the college, which is the new Student Success Specialist, which is actually a dedicated person that meets with every single incoming student to give them an individualized success plan so that they're ready to go when they start in classes in the fall. That's been really beneficial for us, because we actually have seen another big challenge is just the demographics and making sure do we have enough students to recruit into the college. And we've seen that this position has really helped with that, because we oftentimes would lose half of our students who applied might not make it through the entire process, because a lot of students are the first time that they've ever attended college, right? Maybe they're intimidated to attend college. And so we understand, right? We get that at the college, because, many of us, including myself, were the first in our families to attend college. So we're there with them. We're every step of the way. And this new Student Success Specialist has really helped with that. And now we're closer to 90% of our students, at least the past 2 years, that apply to the college that actually end up in classes on the first day of class. And so we're proud of that.
All right. So what steps is WCCC taking to make education more accessible to non-traditional students?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for asking that as well. I mentioned a little bit about our graduates that are all over the state, and that's because we do have virtual and fully online programs now. And that started to kind of be something at WCCC that we were really getting into in 2018. The pandemic kind of escalated that for online learning, and we were able to make sure we have resources to support online learners. We had to go through a process with our accrediting body to get full approval to continue to offer online courses for students. And so if you're a parent student, you're an adult learner that has a full-time job, oftentimes you're not able to commit to that in-person, environment where you're there every single day. But those online opportunities in human services, substance use recovery, business management, entrepreneurship, just to name a few of our online programs, have allowed more students to take advantage of those programs, which has been, extremely helpful for us for enrollment growth, but also for being basically there for more students than we were able to prior to those online programs.
So there are programs where you don't have to come to the campus at all, and you can still get some kind of associate's degree. Yep,
absolutely. Right. So and there is some differences. So like business management, you can do that fully online, meaning that you log into our Brightspace, which is our learning management system, and you do all the classes there. There are due dates, but you can work basically at your own pace to, it could be at 1 a.m. if you needed, because you work all day. But we also have programs that are actually through Zoom, where, it doesn't make sense that you don't connect with your classmates and with your instructor. So like human services, where individuals are going to be out in the field as a case manager or as a substance use counselor, they got to have those interpersonal communication skills as well. And so by having Zoom courses, they're able to get all of those needs met and then leave ready to go out in the field.
Nice. So what exciting initiatives or programs are in the pipeline for WCCC?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. We, of course, are staying on top of artificial intelligence and immersive technology and how we can leverage that to better meet the learning objectives of our students. So, how are we able to use simulation, for example, so that students are able to really understand their program of study? We have simulations in all of our programs. You think heavy equipment operations and maintenance, you think welding, you think automotive technology. We actually have simulations in those programs also. So we're going to be looking at, increasing that. We did get some grant funding from a congressionally directed spending grant, CDS grant, to build more of that into our programs with that immersive technology. And then, we're also continuing to look for flexible learning opportunities for students. One of the things that we're doing is 4-credit short-term workforce trainings. And currently, we're very fortunate that a lot of that is grant funded through the Harold Alphonse Center for the Advancement of Maine's Workforce. So a lot of students can come in and take, if they're looking for a short-term training, they can come in and take that completely free at Washington County Community College. And we're building those out to where those then are credit for associate's degrees or certificate programs. So, an example, just one example would be our new corrections and probation certificate program, which is under criminal justice. So that started as free short-term workforce trainings, which was really a partnership with some of our local, like the in Machias at the local where we have corrections officers, where they're like, we have a need and we need individuals to be trauma informed to understand substance use disorder and substance use recovery in order to best be a corrections officer, right? So that short-term training started, and then now we have a full certificate program in corrections and probation, once again offered fully online, and students get a full certificate in that. The other piece is that then that becomes eligible for federal financial assistance, the free college scholarship for those that are eligible for that. So really opening those doors for students to take one class for free, and then if they decide that they really enjoy that, they can come on in and take the full program.
Yeah. So, you just had a HVAC one that was like 5 days or something like that.
Yep, exactly. All
right. So if you had one piece of advice for incoming students, what would it be?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that, because, of course, my role, is it's enrollment management, but also student services. So I am talking with students all the time. And one thing that I always tell them at the start of the year is that the only dumb question is the question you don't ask. And that if you're thinking it or asking it, then there's others around you that have the same question as you. So have the courage to ask good questions, because if you don't, then that only hurts yourself. And so really we try to get students to learn to advocate for themselves, because it's not just about having the knowledge to be able to go out and do the job when you leave. You also have to be able to communicate effectively and advocate for yourself. And so I always tell students, one, we were always in your, we were in your shoes once, so we're not going to think that your question is irrelevant. So don't hesitate. That's literally what we exist for, is to serve our students and to answer questions for our students and to be there for them. And so I always start off with that at the start of every year. That's kind of my spiel to students is, do not hesitate to reach out.
All right, so this goes well with the next question. What's the most surprising or funniest request you've ever gotten from a student?
Well, this one is interesting. Of course, we're all in Down East Maine, and a lot of our students love the great outdoors, which is what we're known for, of course. We also have a little bit of a geese problem on the campus at WCCC, and it's actually gotten better this year, but it's been worse in past years. And so we've definitely had some students who volunteered to get rid of those geese for us and
have a barbecue.
Have a barbecue, which I honestly I didn't know until I moved here that there there is such thing as a season to hunt geese, but apparently there is, and so students have definitely truly came forward asking for permission.
They actually asked that,
saying that they have the license, that they're ready to go, but can they? And of course, the answer is not on campus as far as taking them out. But that was definitely something that was humorous for me because we were trying to figure out how do we deal with these. And our students come forward with sometimes requests that would deal with the problem, but then, isn't realistic, of course.
Yeah. All right. So before we go, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think the one thing I'll say is, our community college is here to serve the community of Washington County and all of Down East Maine and now across the state. Recently, we actually spent a significant amount of time updating our 5-year strategic plan. So as we move into the future, 2025 to 2030, we do have kind of a renewed strategic plan where we're going to be fully focusing on increasing access for all students to, come to Washington County Community College through a wide variety of kind of some of the things I've already shared, as well as, constantly improving facilities and improving opportunities for students to use our facilities and the public. And then I just kind of wanted to, and this is a little cheesy, but, when you're in my role, kind of wanted to end with just sharing what our new mission statement is, because it took a little bit of work to get there from all of our, our students and our faculty provided feedback. And so I just wanted to share that. And our mission at WCCC is to inspire individuals through an inclusive, innovative learning environment with personalized guidance that transforms lives. And truly, that's what we believe in, and that's what we do. We transform lives for the students who walk through our doors. And we always invite students to check out that new opportunity that might be there. Schedule a campus tour, come in and see us. We're happy to have you on campus and share all of our programs that we have to offer.
Come on back to the WC.
Absolutely.
Tyler Stolt, Dean of Enrollment, Management, and Student Services. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.